In a world where every like and follow can define a modern day celebrity and cancel culture movements can cancel common sense, like the term best friends, it's offensive now. Really? I mean, what's the alternative? My least favorite friend? That sounds a little bit more offensive. I digress. Welcome back to another episode of the Popcorn Confessional's 31 Days of Halloween. This is Dave from nERDbox, and I'm accompanied by my wife, Jenn, also from nERDbox, and we are reviewing The Tragedy Girls, possibly a modern day telling of American Psycho set in a high school. There is only one way to find out. So fire up that Jiffy Pop and meet us in the booth.
Teenage bloggers Sadie and Michaela are looking to make a splash in their senior year by creating a horror icon in their small town of Rosedale. After catching a crazed serial killer that the town is covering up, they plan to take matters into their own hands by increasing his kill counts and expanding their social media presence in the process.
So, I am tired of hearing people complain that there's no good slasher movies anymore. There has been a handful of slasher movies, like Strangers, Pray at Night, excellent film, that have been out there that have been very hard to find or snuffed out. And not enough people are making noise about these films that we're getting that movement. Maybe finally, because we're getting reboots and remakes that everybody hates and they complain about in the theaters, where Candyman and Halloween and It have kind of jump started maybe that slasher movie coming back. But there were ones, like Tragedy Girls, that were overlooked or missed. What do you think about this one?
I loved everything about this movie. I mean, was it like a little campy and cheesy at times? Yep, absolutely. It was meant to be. I mean, they're teenage girls and they're bloggers on like YouTube and social media. Who the hell isn't these days, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone is. But Sadie and Michaela took it to a whole new level, a whole like psychopathic level that I think most people, or at least I hope most people don't do, where they're just trying to like get the kill count up and they want to be the heroes. In the end, that's what they're looking for. They want to be the heroes so that they can make their social media presence viral and they will be like the most loved people out there and they want to be insta famous.
Yeah. I have to say, and this is why I'm comparing it to American Psycho. So American Psycho was based on, the Wall Street Times and the yuppies and that culture at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Tragedy Girls is focused on the culture of this time. And that's what makes me think, you know what, American Psycho, Tragedy Girls, very close. It'd be very hard for somebody to tell me or argue with me, I think, if you love horror, that these two movies are not in the same tier. I think they are.
Yeah. I actually think this one's a higher tier than
Really?
Yeah.
Now, as we mentioned, so there's Sadie and Michaela in this movie, and they're amazing. They have great chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun, not annoying.
No.
They could be annoying, I think.
Yeah.
They're on that teetering edge there of being annoying and not being annoying, but they're fun. They're just energetic. The movie moves really good, and I don't know. I was kind of rooting for them.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah. And today, I wouldn't root for millennials in some of these scenarios, but them I was kind of rooting for. I think it was kind of fun the way they were going about their business.
Yeah.
Definitely dark and twisted their minds were.
But I think also it's a little bit because they weren't popular. They were kind of like outsiders, like they had each other and they had a couple of other friends, but they weren't like the in crowd. So they were basically trying to make the in crowd look bad, which I like.
Yeah. So, they were cheerleaders, but they weren't cheerleaders.
No, they definitely weren't like into it like the other cheerleaders. I think it was more like for their college applications, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are some surprises in this film with some characters. Craig Robinson's in this film.
Yes, as Big Al.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Yeah, he's funny in this film. Mm-hmm. The kills were very, very entertaining. The serial killer, I forget his name. We've seen him in other things before.
Kevin Durand?
I think so.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of things. He does not have an unforgettable face. Like, you'll know as soon as you see him, like, that you've seen him in something. You just don't remember what it was. Mm-hmm. And Josh Hutcherson was in this movie as Toby. He was uncredited, though, which I thought was a little odd because, I mean, his role was about as big as anybody else's. I mean, besides the girls.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he had a decent amount of on-screen time. And
he was annoying.
He was annoying. I didn't like him at all. He was super annoying. Maybe that's why they didn't credit him. Maybe they were like, no one's going to care. And Sadie is played by Brianna Hildebrand, who is from Deadpool 1 and 2 and Playing with Fire. Fun fact, she never looks the same in anything she's in.
That's good. I like when actors and actresses do that
Totally different. Kayla is played by Alexandra Shipp.
She's awesome, too.
Is really awesome, and she's not unknown. She is in X-Men Dark Phoenix. Wow. She is in Love, Simon, and she's in Jexy. She's a fantastic actor as well.
Yeah. They're both good in this film. They're both good in other films. It'd be nice to see them get more roles.
Yeah.
And the way this movie is set up, you may be able to get more movies out of it, which I would love to see.
Yeah.
But again, people gotta talk about these independent slasher films. They gotta get buzz going around them, and hopefully with this review, some people get turned on and see this for the first time because it is a very good movie. Mm-hmm. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the best slashers this month on our reviews. Mm-hmm. So, maybe, we do a wrap-up show in November or something like that where we talk about which was the best slasher of this new generation of slashers. This is a tough one to beat.
Yeah, I agree. They would definitely be the ones to beat at this time. They kind of like, you know.
Now, like Behind the Mask, the way it was written and directed, you can tell it's somebody that loves horror because you have that fun in there that you would see in the late 90s, maybe early mid 90s. Mm-hmm. The way it moves and the energy that goes with it, not the horrible 90s films that came out after Scream and everybody tried to do the same thing. No, not like that. But there are Easter eggs in this film. There's about 10 of them that I picked up on or I learned about. But the characters themselves.
Yes. So Sadie's last name in the movie is for director Sean Cunningham. And Michaela's last name is for Tobe Hooper from Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah. So there are fun kills in this. This one does have a lot of blood.
It has a lot of blood. So if you don't want your kids to see, probably better for teenagers.
This is good for teenagers.
Good for teenagers. I wouldn't go below that.
I would say if you're uncomfortable with your teenagers watching Scream or your preteens watching Scream, this is not a movie for them. This is up there in the gore factor. It's gory goodness. Definitely kick back and watch this one. Have a couple drinks. Mm-hmm. Watch this slasher film and all the other slasher films that we're going to talk about. And then let us know what you think is the best slasher of this century, of the last 20 years. It doesn't get as much recognition that they should be. Would you want to see sequels to any of those films, with the exception to one of those films that is a franchise and a cult icon on the down low? And drop that into the comments. As we've said in our other reviews, we are not rating these films. We want you to go out, enjoy the horror films, try to catch something new this month instead of going back to the old faithfuls. Mm-hmm. What's your rating?
Yeah, we just love horror movies, and
as you can tell.
Yes. So we love horror movies, in case you couldn't tell, and this is only a very small portion of it. We love horror movies, so we're just trying to give people some ideas for movies that maybe they haven't seen. A lot of these are hidden gems that no one knows about. So
yeah, let us know what you think of this one in the films. What other slashers that are out there that you like? Is it The Collector? Is it Chrome Skull? Which I never really got into Chrome Skull. Is it something as silly as the Killer and Freaky? So, or even in Happy Death Day. So there are some slashers out there, and maybe those guys are given a little bit of a bad rep with the slasher comedy type deal.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely leave us a note and let us know what you
I
think
think they're
about
given a
this
bad
and
rap.
who we should check out.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, turn on the notifications, and share.
Yes, definitely. And until tomorrow,
See
see ya.
ya.